Welcome everybody back to Boost Emotion, guys. And today we're gonna talk about one of the top. I would say this is the top common problem for your 2014 and up Q50. I mainly want to keep this with the 3.7s, but some of the 3.0 T guys and up 2016 and up Q50s will have the same issue, including Q60. So guys, there's no intro. Let's just jump right into it. First thing, shout out to my Boost Emotion family, guys. I know you guys have already hit the like button. Thank you guys for your support so much. I really appreciate you guys also watching those ads. Thank you. And if you're new to the Boost Emotion channel, I am Boost Emotion. I've had two Q50s, one Q60. So I've been in this platform since it started. So also, I'm part of a couple of Facebook groups and forum groups where people, the owners of these cars, and they talk about the experiences from the top common issues to modifying and everything. So I've been around the block for a while. So let's just jump right into it. So first thing. If you guys see this, don't get scared. Don't get scared. So the first question y'all would ask is, Boost. Well, I see this, I get scared. Can I drive the car? If the car is still moving and you don't and the power isn't affected, you're okay. That's the best part. Usually you get this old drive error codes when I'll tell you the situations. You ready? Number one, there is some kind of loss of traction on your old drive Q50 reason or Q60. This is usually when one drive shaft or wheel spins faster than the rest of them. This either could be in the rain or in the snow. And usually you see these pop up a lot more in the snow because, well, people are trying to drive in the snow, and the car picks up that one wheel is spinning a lot faster than the next. And if it keeps doing it, it pops a code up because it wants to protect itself. You know, you could pretty much destroy the rear or front diff if you keep doing it, right? So that's one of the top common reasons why you may see that happen. What you can do is either you should be able to turn the car off and then wait a couple minutes and turn the car back on, and it should be technically okay. Right now, here's another reason why this happens. A lot of all-wheel drive cars who are now tuned on E85 or 93, they launch the car. Sometimes the rear wheels might spin a little faster than the front wheels. Especially in my case, I've had it happen plenty of times with my Q50 and Q60. And the old drive light would actually pop up again because, once again, the rear will spin faster than the front. And the car will kind of go in may go into a limp mode, may not. But just turn the car off and turn it back on. Cool. So now that you know some of the top common issues, now I need to give you one more. This may come up a little bit differently. It may come up as an old drive error, or it may come up as this all drive high temp stop vehicle. So when that usually happens, right? That's because, once again, it could be the same issue. Like, some guys like to slide their all drive and unplug the traction control and pretty much slide their car. So this may pop up. But also on top of that, this could also be from hard launches. And finally, this also could come from installing the wrong tire size. And what I mean by that is, some of you guys, once again, if you have an all-wheel drive, you want all four tires to be the same size, right? But some guys have staggered setup. Staggered setup means that the front wheels are narrower, or the rear wheels are wider than the front wheels. So in those cases, you can't. Some people just don't put like all the same tire size on. Just a quick side note. Remember, I used to work in the tire field, so you can still put the same tire size on a staggered setup, but it depends on how much wider the wheel is. I just want to use a quick example. If the front wheel is like an 8.5 and the rear wheel is like a 9, you could put like the same 255 40 on front and back. It's really not going to be much of a difference. But if it's like a 8.5 in the front and a 10 in the rear, then it's really hard to like put a 255 because the rear tire would actually stretch a little bit, which would also affect the tire height or diameter. Okay? Just want to quickly put that out there. Also, you can check on my channel. I talked about some of the common will it fit, what size wheels will fit, and the tire size. This is some old videos from like 4 years ago. Anyways, back on it. So you guys would let's say install a real wider wheel, and then you guys will go like a two. Like, I'll use one of the most common ones. You'll put like a 245/35 in the front, and you'll put like a 245/35 in the rear. That is not the right tire size to use, because you're thinking, okay, the 35 wall is the same front and back. No. The 35 percentage is technically 35% of the 275. That is the tire height. Say it again with me. The 35, the second number, is the percentage of the first number. And that percentage is measured in millimeters of height. So what you would have to do is now go down on the series size of the wall. So if it's a 245 35 in the front, usually as a tire tech, I usually know you go 3 to 4 up. And what I mean by that is in 10 millimeters. So if it's 245 in the front, you would want to go 275, 285, and then go down on the percentage. That will give you a very kind of very similar ratio between the front and the rear tire, your rear tires. And the Infiniti overdrive system, you're not supposed to go over 3%. I would say that's a BS lie. If you even go, I would say like a 2%, you can still get the overdrive code. So I would say just try to keep it between. I would try to keep it as close as possible, especially in an overdrive system, especially if you're hard launching. So you'll get this. Error message, and it won't really go away. Like you can start the car and restart it, it'll always come back because the ABS is reading that the front tires are spin the smaller tire is spinning a lot faster than the rear tires or the taller tires. Okay, now we're still not finished here because I've been leaving one elephant out of the room. I'm literally leaving one elephant out of the room. So you have sometimes you'll get like a chassis control. Chassis control is super weird. You'll get like a chassis control, which will be super weird, or you'll get an all-wheel drive control. And pretty much the number one most common issue, I'm going to say it on video right now for you guys, is an ABS sensor. One of the most common issues. No, definitely on the 3.7, the number one most common issue. This isn't like a common issue of 3.7 Q50s, but this is the number one issue. For whatever reason, especially in the winter, once again, I guess because all the water and snow may get down into the wheel hub or something, and sometimes I believe it affects the voltage of the ABS sensor because the ABS sensor is pretty much just a magnet, right? And I guess because when it's super cold or dirt and dust and a lot of stuff gets around that area, it can't capture or read. I would call it like I would just say there's a hub that spins around or a magnet or something that spins around in the wheel hub and it picks up that signal. And because either the voltage is too low or it's dirt or something gets in the way, the car will actually pick it up and says it's not reading. And it's usually always the rear wheels for some reason, never really the front wheels. So if you get this code and you were just driving normally, it's not in the snow, it's not in the rain, and you get this, then majority of the time it's majority. Not saying in your one case, in majority of the time it's just a one ABS speed sensor. It's always either the passenger rear or the driver rear, usually. Now, lastly, you can even see the temperature right here, which is funny. Lastly, I want to put this one out here too. So this one, the last common issue I would say that kind of technically deals with all these fault codes, right? You may still get some of this. This could be for the radar and everything like that, but sometimes it doesn't even pop up like that. Because if you have, let's say, like the sensor codes around your car and like I would say the IFS or the intelligent cruise control or whatever, when the ABS stops working, it just picks up all those codes because now the system just all shuts off because if the wheels aren't moving properly or the car's not moving properly first, it's not working properly. It just shuts down all of those systems or those systems are not reading properly. So you'll still get a chassis control. But I want to say this as a small percentage. Some people have gotten the all-wheel drive high temperature code and or the all-wheel drive sensor or even the chassis control, and it was a transmission issue, like a transmission speed sensor issue. It's not common, but it's common enough because I've been on this platform and people come to me where specifically, I don't mean speed sensor as in for the ABS. I mean speed sensor in the transmission or something like that. I don't know the actual verbiage. I know some of you guys may comment because you have been in the platform for so long, but it was not saying there's something wrong with the transmission necessarily. It's just some speed sensor that deals with the transmission, and it was an internal issue. I still don't have any more information about it, but I do want to just say that on video. And once again, it's not a common thing. Not a lot of people go through it, but I do know that that has happened in some small cases and it wasn't like it was a valve body or anything. It was just it's like whatever the transmission picked up, it kind of threw it off. But nonetheless, guys, I don't want you guys to be afraid of this. If you get an all-wheel drive code, just turn the car off and turn it back on. That's honestly it, guys. Like, you don't really have to like kill yourself about this or get super afraid of anything like that. Like, this is not something where you're like, oh my god, do I have to get a tow home? If the car is still driving, drive it. The most that may happen to you is when the ABS system shuts off, your wheels can lock up. The ABS system usually prevents old wheels from locking up and sliding. So usually when this happens, your brakes still work perfectly fine. It's just that when you have in emergency situations, your wheels will fully lock up when you press on it, rather than do the whole ABS thing. Yep. So outside of that, guys, you have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. I want to give you guys this informative video because it's been years in the making of this video, and I don't know, I just always gloss over this. Also to my Boost Motion family, I know you guys have already hit that like button. Thank you guys for your support and watching all those ads. Thank you, man. It really does help the channel. So excited, guys. You have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys so much for always supporting the Boost Motion channel, especially in 2023. Guys, you know what to do. There's no outro. So you guys have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Thank you. Appreciate it. Add me at boostinmotion IG. Facebook. Also, you can send me email at boostinmotion@gmail.com. Otherwise than that, guys, I appreciate it. You guys have a good day. Thank you.